Imagine walking into a room filled with confident, successful individuals. Suddenly, you feel small, gripped by the fear that you're not good enough, not worthy enough. Stop right there. The moment you doubt yourself, you've already lost the battle before it even begins. But what if you changed your mindset? What if you acted as if you were the best, even before you became so? This isn't arrogance. It isn't pride. It's Stoic thinking, the mastery of your own mind, refusing to let circumstances define who you are. Today, we'll talk about how to act like the best so that your thoughts become reality. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, but right now. 1. No one is coming to save you. This is a harsh truth, but it is the most important one you need to understand. In life, we often wait for the perfect opportunity, for recognition, for someone to hand us a ticket to a better life. But the brutal reality is that no one is coming. No one but you can change your destiny. If you do nothing, your life will remain the same. And the worst thing isn't failure. It's looking back years from now and realizing you never truly tried, never truly fought for what you wanted. You must accept that the world owes you nothing. No one is responsible for your success. No one is obligated to reach out and lift you up. Everything you desire, every dream, every goal, every ambition, only becomes real if you pursue it yourself. If you don't put in the effort, no one will do it for you. The successful don't sit around waiting for opportunities. They create them. They take action before they feel ready. They walk forward even when the path ahead is unclear, because they know that if they don't, no one else will. Think of someone drowning in deep water. If he doesn't fight to stay afloat, if he doesn't struggle to save himself, he will sink and disappear. That is exactly how life works. If you don't fight to move forward, the current of life will pull you under. Maybe you're waiting for change, but in reality, change only comes from the actions you take right now. The strong aren't those born with perfect circumstances. They are those who understand they have no choice but to rise and take control of their own lives. The mindset of waiting makes you weak. It turns you into a passive observer of your own life. If you sit around hoping someone will come and change things for you, you will remain trapped in mediocrity forever. But the moment you accept that only you can make a difference, the world begins to look different. You will see that every decision, every action, every small step can lead you toward the life you want. But that only happens if you take action. So stop believing that one day someone will come and give you what you want. Start thinking like a warrior, one who doesn't wait for reinforcements, but trains every day to become stronger. You don't need anyone to save you, because if you truly want change, if you truly want to become the best version of yourself, you will stand up and make it happen. Starting to 2. Act as if you've already succeeded. Acting as if you've already succeeded doesn't mean deceiving yourself, nor is it arrogance or boastfulness. It means cultivating an unshakable mindset away, carrying yourself with the quiet certainty that success is inevitable. Look at those who truly excel in their fields: entrepreneurs, elite athletes, masterful artists. Do you notice a common thread? They don't wait for recognition. They don't postpone acting like successful people until after they've achieved success. They live, think, and operate with excellence long before they have anything to show for it. That is the key. A person who wants to be a leader cannot wait for a title before embodying leadership. He must demonstrate decisiveness, responsibility, and discipline starting today. Someone who desires confidence cannot wait until they feel ready. They must step forward, confront fear, train themselves, and act as if confidence is already theirs. The way you act defines who you be. The human brain has a remarkable mechanism. When you behave as if you possess a quality, you begin to develop that quality within yourself. This isn't pretending. It's a psychological principle used by the most successful people in the world. Imagine walking into a job interview. If you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I have no chance," you'll hesitate, your voice will waver, and your eyes will betray your doubt. The interviewer will sense it instantly. But if you enter with the presence of someone who already belongs there, if you speak with certainty, stand with confidence, and act as if the job is yours, something powerful happens. The people in the room will believe it too. The world reflects the way you present yourself. If you believe you are worthy, others will sense it. We don't control our circumstances, but we control how we act. Live as if you have already succeeded, not to impress others, but to forge yourself into a stronger version of who you are. The person who never takes the first step remains an observer forever. The one who moves forward, who carries themselves as if they belong, will eventually turn that belief into reality. Stand tall. Look ahead. Work with the commitment of someone who has already achieved their goals. No waiting, no hesitation, no need for validation. Act like a person who has already succeeded, and in time, you will become one. 3. Facing fear, the Stoics' secret. Fear is one of the greatest barriers preventing us from reaching our true potential. It whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you might fail, that others will mock you if you make a mistake. But if you let fear control you, you will never discover the strongest version of yourself. The Stoics understood that fear does not stem from the outside world. It comes from how we perceive things. We don't fear public speaking. We fear judgment. We don't fear new challenges. We fear failure. We don't fear stepping out of our comfort zone. We fear uncertainty. But the irony is that fear only exists before we act. The moment we confront it, it begins to flee. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The world is full of unpredictability, but the only thing you truly control is your response. If you allow fear to hold you back, you are surrendering control of your life to something that exists only in your imagination. But if you face it head on and move forward, you'll realize that most of your worries are illusions. They have no real power, except the power you grant them in your mind. Think back to a time when you were afraid, but chose to act anyway. Maybe it was your first time speaking in public, your first attempt at a new job, or the first time you stood up for your beliefs. At first, your heart pounded, your hands trembled, but what happened next? You did it, and you realized that the scariest moment was just before you began. The Stoics teach us that fear never truly disappears, but we can become strong enough not to be ruled by it. Each time you confront fear, it weakens. So instead of avoiding discomfort, train yourself to walk into it. Stand up, face the challenge, and act despite your fear. This doesn't mean fear will vanish. It means it will no longer dictate your actions. And when you do this often enough, one day, you'll look back and realize that the things that once terrified you no longer matter. By then, you won't just have conquered fear. You will have become a stronger version of yourself. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action despite it. 4. The great do not wait. They create change. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They do not wait for someone to hand them an opportunity. They do not let fate dictate their lives. Instead, they take action. When no path exists, they carve one for themselves. They accept that if they want to change their lives, they must be the ones to initiate that change. The most successful entrepreneurs do not wait for the perfect market conditions. They dive into uncertainty, embrace risk, and adapt along the way. The greatest artists, athletes, and scientists do not wait until they have mastered their craft. They begin before they feel ready, honing their skills, learning and improving every single day. Look at those who have changed the world. Steve Jobs did not wait for validation before creating Apple. He believed in his vision and took action, even when no one thought a personal computer could revolutionize the world. Elon Musk did not wait for the auto industry to embrace electric cars. He built Tesla and proved that they could succeed. These people did not start with all the answers, but they understood that without action, those answers would never come. They did not fear failure because they knew failure was not the end, but a necessary part of the journey toward success. The greatest danger is not failure. It is hesitation. You might sit there thinking you will start when the timing is right, when you have more experience, when you feel more confident. But the truth is, the perfect moment will never come. If you do not take action today, you will not take action tomorrow. Time will pass, and you will realize you are still in the same place, while others have surged ahead simply because they had the courage to begin. The great do not wait for someone to open doors for them. If the door does not open, they break it down. If no road exists, they forge their own. They do not dwell on what they lack. They use what they have to make a difference. And because of this, they succeed. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve something, do not wait. Start now, even if you are not ready. Because the truth is, no one is ever truly ready. Only those who act and adapt along the way reach the heights they seek. The world does not reward those who wait. It belongs to those bold enough to rise and claim it. 5. Action creates reality. There is no pretending. This is one of the most crucial principles for anyone seeking to change their life. We often believe that we must achieve something first before we can act accordingly. But the truth is the opposite. It is action that shapes who you are, not titles or external recognition. An athlete doesn't become great and then start training hard. He trains hard first, and through that, he becomes great. A leader is not born. It is through persistence, discipline, and responsibility that he is forged into one. We often get trapped in a cycle of hesitation, thinking we're not skilled enough, not experienced enough, not ready enough. But if everyone waited until they felt completely prepared before they started, nothing would ever be achieved. The successful are not those who were inherently better than you from the start. They are the ones who dared to begin first, to take action before they felt ready, to step forward despite uncertainty. An aspiring entrepreneur doesn't wait until he has all the knowledge. He starts with what he has, learns from mistakes, and gradually becomes a true entrepreneur. A speaker doesn't wait until his fear disappears. He steps onto the stage despite his nerves, and each speech makes him more confident. The key is that you are not pretending. When you act as if you already possess a quality, you are training yourself until that quality becomes real. If you act with confidence, you will gradually become confident. If you act with discipline, you will build disciplined habits. If you act as though you are the best in your field, step by step, you will reach that level. This is not self-deception. It is the most practical way to transform yourself. Think about the times you have stepped outside your comfort zone. At first, it may have felt awkward, unfamiliar, but over time, those actions became a natural part of who you are. Every time you dare to act, you are laying the foundation for a stronger version of yourself. Conversely, if you keep waiting, you will remain stuck in mediocrity. Remember, no one is born a master, but those who take action become one over time. So stop telling yourself that you are not good enough yet. Act as if you have already achieved what you desire, and step by step, it will become your reality. Life does not wait for you to be ready. It changes the moment you decide to take action. 6. Abandon the victim mentality. You are stronger than you think. The victim mentality is one of the most dangerous traps that can hold you back in life. It convinces you that your struggles and failures are always someone else's fault, or the result of forces beyond your control. It makes you believe that you cannot succeed because of your circumstances, your past, or what others have done to you. But the truth is, this mindset only weakens you. It keeps you stuck in mediocrity. The Stoics understood this well. They did not blame fate, society, or other people. They knew that while they could not control the world, they could always control how they responded to it. You may have been born into poverty. You may have faced failure. You may have endured hardship. But that does not mean you are bound by your past. That does not mean you cannot rise. There are countless people who have overcome extreme adversity and still found success. They had no greater advantage than you, except for one thing. They refused to see themselves as victims. They refused to believe the world owed them anything. They understood that if they wanted to change their lives, they had to take full responsibility. And when they did, they reclaimed control over their destiny. When you accept that everything in your life is a result of your own decisions, you become stronger than ever. No one can hurt you unless you allow it. No one can make you feel inferior unless you believe it yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you abandon the victim mentality, you will see that nothing is truly holding you back except your own limiting beliefs. Those who constantly see themselves as victims live a life of resentment, always blaming the world for what they lack. But the strong use every challenge as a stepping stone to rise. If life is difficult, use it to sharpen yourself. If someone hurts you, turn that pain into fuel for growth. If you fail, treat it as a lesson that pushes you further. You are stronger than you think, but you will never realize it if you remain trapped in the belief that you are a victim. Stand up, take ownership of your life, and recognize that you are in control. No one is coming to save you, but no one can stop you if you truly decide to rise. Let go of the victim mindset and start taking charge of your destiny. 7. Confidence comes from preparation, not luck. Confidence does not happen by chance. It is not a gift bestowed upon you, nor is it something you wake up with one morning out of nowhere. Confidence is the result of preparation, practice, and countless hours of effort when no one is watching. We often look at successful people, captivating speakers, composed entrepreneurs, elite athletes, and assume they were born confident. But the truth is, they too have faced anxiety, fear, and self-doubt. The difference is that they did not allow those feelings to stop them. They prepared, they trained, they repeated their actions over and over until confidence became a natural part of them. Think of someone speaking in public for the first time. If he has never prepared, never practiced, his voice will shake, his hands will sweat, his mind will panic. But if he has rehearsed dozens, even hundreds of times in front of a mirror, if he has repeated his speech countless times in his head, if he has practiced in front of small groups, then when he steps onto the stage, he will no longer be overwhelmed. At that moment, confidence does not come from luck. It comes from meticulous preparation. This is why the best in every field dedicate themselves to constant training. An athlete is not confident simply because he believes he is skilled. He is confident because he knows he has trained enough to perform well. An entrepreneur is not confident because of luck, but because he has studied the market, failed, learned from mistakes, and prepared for the worst scenarios. The successful do not gamble on luck. They place their trust in their own preparation. If you feel a lack of confidence in any area of life, ask yourself, have you prepared enough? Have you practiced in front of a mirror until your words flow effortlessly? Have you failed enough times to extract real lessons? Do you have the patience to train relentlessly? Those who exude unwavering confidence were not born strong. They became strong through effort and discipline. They understand that preparation is the key, that if they do the work, they will no longer need to worry about the outcome. So if you want confidence, don't sit around waiting for it. Start preparing today. Train, practice, equip yourself with everything you can, and confidence will come, not as luck, but as an inevitable result. 8. Discipline matters more than motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration. Discipline is more important than motivation. This is a truth few people want to hear because it is not as exciting as motivational advice. We are often drawn to stories of sudden inspiration, those moments when someone decides to change their life. But what is rarely mentioned is that motivation is fleeting. It comes quickly, but it fades just as fast. If you rely solely on motivation, you will have days of intense drive, but you will also have days when you feel like doing nothing. And it is those days that determine whether you succeed or fail. The great do not depend on temporary bursts of inspiration. They do not wait until they feel like it to take action. They understand that inspiration is unpredictable, but discipline is within their control. Look at anyone who has reached the pinnacle of their field. Athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, scientists. None of them succeeded simply because they had more motivation than others. They succeeded because they had discipline. They trained even when they did not feel like it. They worked even when they were exhausted. They pushed forward even when there was no spark of inspiration left. They did not let emotions dictate their actions. They let their actions shape their emotions. Think of someone who wants to build a strong physique. If he only goes to the gym on days when he feels motivated, he will likely work out only a few times a month. But if he has discipline, he will stick to his schedule, showing up every day, regardless of how he feels. And what is the result? A stronger, healthier body, not because he had more motivation than others, but because he had more discipline. Discipline is what carries you through the difficult days. When you feel drained, lost, or tempted to quit, the successful are not those who are always filled with motivation, but those who have the discipline to persist even when they do not want to. So stop waiting for inspiration to knock on your door. Train your discipline. Take action even when you don't feel like it, because perseverance through the hard days is what separates the ordinary from the truly great. 9. True freedom. Mastering yourself. True freedom does not mean doing whatever you want, whenever you please. It does not mean living without obligations, responsibilities, or rules. In reality, true freedom only comes when you master yourself, when you control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you cannot govern yourself, you are not free. You are a slave, not to others, but to your own desires, emotions, and destructive habits. Look at those who let their emotions dictate their lives. When anger consumes them, they lose control, say things they regret, and act in ways that harm both themselves and others. When sadness overtakes them, they for their responsibilities, withdraw into despair, and refuse to move forward. When laziness takes hold, they procrastinate on what matters, letting life slip away as opportunities pass them by. They believe they are living as they choose, but in truth, they are not free. They are fooled by their emotions. Such people do not command themselves. They are mere puppets pulled by external forces. The Stoics understood that self-mastery is the only path to true freedom. A free person is one who controls his thoughts, rather than letting them be swayed with the opinions of others. He faces pain without allowing it to break his spirit. He takes action, even when motivation is absent, because he knows that action is more important than fleeting emotions. Seneca once said, "No one is truly free who is not master of himself." If you seek freedom, begin by mastering yourself. Do not let emotions dictate your actions. Shape your emotions. Do not allow bad habits to chain you to a life of mediocrity. Do not let invisible fears hold you back from what is truly worthwhile. Cultivate discipline. Control your thoughts and maintain composure in all circumstances. When you achieve this, you will no longer be swayed by external forces or dragged down by meaningless distractions. You will be truly free, not because you can do anything, but because you have the power to choose what truly matters and pursue it with unwavering will. 10. Consistency matters more than results. This is a truth many refuse to accept because we are often obsessed with instant success. We want immediate results. We want to reach our goals as quickly as possible. And when we don't see clear progress, we are quick to give up. But those who achieve greatness are not the ones who see immediate results. They are the ones who have the patience to stay consistent over a long, even when there are no visible signs of success. Look at someone who starts going to the gym. If he expects a sculpted physique after just a few weeks, he will soon be disappointed and quit. But if he stays disciplined, trains consistently every day, and persists even when he sees no immediate change, over time, his body will transform. The same applies to every area of life. A musician does not master his craft after a few practice sessions. A writer does not become great after a single book. An entrepreneur does not build an empire in a year. The great do not fixate on short-term results. They focus on doing the right things, step by step, and let time take care of the rest. Consistency is more important than results, because results are not always within your control, but your daily actions are. You cannot control whether success comes immediately, but you can control whether you keep showing up and putting in the work. And the truth is, if you keep going long enough, results will come. Not instantly, not easily, but they will come as a well-earned reward for those who persist. Most people do not fail because they lack ability, but because they lack the patience to stay consistent. They start with excitement, but when results don't appear quickly, they stop. But those who understand that real progress is a long journey keep going even when they see nothing. They keep learning, keep practicing, keep taking action, and one day they look back and realize they have come further than they ever imagined. That is why if you truly want to change your life, stop obsessing over immediate results. Focus on doing the right things consistently every single day, because consistency is what creates greatness. We often fall into the trap of believing we must wait for the perfect moment to start changing ourselves. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only right now. If you want to build discipline, start with the smallest action in this very moment. If you want to be more confident, don't wait until you feel fully ready. Act as if you already have that confidence. If you want to achieve something great, don't spend so much time planning that you never take action. Success does not come from grand ideas. It comes from consistent action, repeated daily, even when you lack motivation, even when results are unclear. I once thought I had to wait until I had all the knowledge and preparation before starting something. But then I realized that the process itself is what truly matters. You will never feel fully ready, but you must start anyway. You will never be completely confident at the beginning, but if you act like a confident person, over time, you will become one. Instead of overthinking about the distant future, focus on doing the right thing today. You don't need a perfect step, just a step forward. And if you maintain that daily, nothing can stop you from achieving greatness. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment about what you will start changing today. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss content designed to help you become the strongest version of yourself. And if you want to continue your journey of self-mastery, check out the other videos on this channel, where I share strategies to strengthen your willpower and take control of your life. The world does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who take action. See you in the next video.